स्वादयन्निह सर्वेषाम् त्रय्यन्तार्थम् सुदुर्ग्रहम् स्तोत्रयामास योगीन्द्रः तम् वन्दे यामुनाह्वयम् नमो नमो यामुनाय यामुनाय नमो नमः नमो नमो यामुनाय यामुनाय नमो नमः यत्पदाम्भोरुहध्यान विध्वस्ताशेषकल्मषः वस्तुतामुपयातोऽहम् यामुनेयम् नमामि तम् स्वधर्मज्ञानवैराग्य साध्यभक्त्येकगोचरः नारायणः परम् ब्रह्म गीताशास्त्रे समीरितः श्रीमान् वेङ्कटनाथार्यः कवितार्किककेसरी वेदान्ताचार्यवर्यो मे सन्निधत्ताम् सदा हृदि.
The paragraph starts with Jiva, Para, Yathatmya, Jnana, Purvaka. Up to this we will see now. Jiva, Jivatma, the individual soul. Para, Paramatma, the supreme soul. Yathatmya, true, T-R-U-E, or rather truthful, original, natural. So, Jnana, the wisdom of understanding the individual soul and the supreme soul. Purvakam, preceded. So, preceded by the prerequisite of the Bhakti Yoga will include the wisdom, rather knowledge of the true nature of the individual soul and the supreme soul. We were talking about the Pranava syllable today in the discussion of Srimad Raghasyatraya Sara, and the last letter Makara. The last letter Makara has to have a Jnanam, the wisdom, as in two angles. Number one, I am full of knowledge. I am an individual soul. I am full of knowledge. My original natural figure is an embodiment of knowledge. Jnana Swarupaha Makaraha. Jnana Swarupaha. Jnana Swarupaha in the sense the personification of knowledge is the individual soul. There is no doubt about it. But the wisdom is hidden while we are living in this world because of the earlier concept that we have already heard or discussed. The concept of Maya, illusion, the Shatavayu, the air called the haughty air, wind, which prevents us from having the divine vision of the Lord. And therefore our jnana is what we call sankuchita. It is narrow. And therefore it's what we call jiva params, yathatma jnana. This wisdom is the prerequisite, purvakam. So we go to the next sentence. So again, one more aspect of the makara is, so I must have, I must feel that I am full of wisdom, that I must know that I am a jnana swarupa. At the same time, I have what we call sheshatva jnana. I am a slave to the Lord, or dasatva jnana. Now, when there is a slight subtle difference between the Sheshatvam and Dasatvam. Shesha is also servant, Dasa is also servant. But Sheshatvam includes Achetana Vastu also, insentient matter, whereas Dasatvam includes only the sentient matter. So all the creations are included under Sheshatva, whereas the Sheshi, the master, is the Lord, Sriman Narayana. And again here, Dasatvam refers to the servitude or the slavery of the individual souls. And therefore that is Makara. And then again the Jnanam will be, we must understand as individual souls that we have no freedom, no total freedom. Number one. The second is in the same strain, in the same angle, we are under the control of the God. Paratantriya Jnanam. First we must understand Aswatantriya Jnanam. We don't have any self control or freedom. The second is we are under the Lord's control. So Paratantriya Jnanam. Then these are the meanings of the letter Makara, the Makara syllable. The Akara and Ukara, meaning the Lord Sriman Narayana and Mahalakshmi, and the Makara will have Tayoho Dasaha. The word Makara will have the meaning. So I am the slave of, I am the servant of both these. Both these. Of course, two in one. So Ahu. And third, of course, next meaning is I am supposed to do service. Supposed to do service. So again, ma, the word letter ma, meaning mani. Mani is the meaning of the root. The root ma will have the meaning mani. Mani is measurement. So the measurement is limited. Our what we call the jurisdiction, our area of action is limited. So that means again I remind the word adhina kartrutvam. Our doership is under the control of the Lord. Adhina kartrutvam. Swadhina kartrutvam is not there. We cannot do anything without his knowledge or order or sankalpa, decision and so on. So ma mane and ma jnane, I just now told you, we are full of knowledge. It is just to open. It's only the knowledge gate is to be opened by the Lord. That's all. When already knowledge is there, to open the gates, the knowledge flood will pour in. That's the meaning of the third syllable, letter ma. Rather, the what we call vyanjanam, the consonant in the pranava syllable. Now coming to say purvakam, jiva, para, yathatmya, jnana, purvaka. Then we have divisions, varna and ashrama. Chatur varna, 4 castes and 4 ashramas, the 4 stages of life. Then dharma, varna dharma and ashrama dharma. To join dharma with both. Varna dharma, the duty of the 4 divisions of people. Then ashrama dharma is the duty of the 4 stages, people of the 4 stages of life. Brahmacharya, Garhastya, Vanaprastha and Sannyasa. So this then iti kartavyataka. Next word is iti kartavyataka. So iti kartavyataka meaning kartavyam is duty. Kartavyata is what we call the sense of duty. Kartavyataka is a ka is also added. That is we have limited sense of duty. Then iti kartavyataka is iti means according to. So according to the varna and ashrama, as per the rules said in the scriptures, according to the varna and ashrama, according to the caste and the stage of life, namely iti kartavyataka. Then what is to be done? What is iti kartavyataka? Meaning what should be the sense of our sense of duty? What should be our sense of duty? Then Parama Purusha Charana Yugala Jnana. The object of worship is Parama Purusha Charana Yuga. It is not even the full Divya Mangala Vigraha, the figure of Lord Shivan Narayana, just the feet. Of course, the feet cannot be separated from the Lord. No limb can be severed from the Lord. But we are talking about the efficacy, the greater efficacy or effectiveness of the divine feet than the other parts of the body, meaning that we must be more humble. So we must fall at the feet. We must worship the feet. The feet, generally, as we know, when we stand or sit, so that is the bottommost part of the body, and therefore our head should touch the floor in order to worship. And it is always said by people when in literature, by poets in literature, when there is an emperor, monarch, the king of kings, rather the god of gods like Indra and so on, we find that all the slave kings or all the gods will fall at the feet of the leader with their crowns taken away from their heads and placed at the feet, and therefore the feet will be shining by the gems, by the rays of light from the gems studded in the crown. That is what we say beautifully in the literature. And therefore, now Parama Purusha, the primordial man, Charana, the foot, Yugala, the pair. So Parama Purusha, Charana, Yugala. And then now what should we do? In Bhakti Yoga, these are the three important, though there are 9 types of Bhakti as we understand. Shravanam, Vishnoho Smaranam, Shravanam, Archanam, Vishnoho Smaranam, Shravanam.
Shravanam, Kirtanam, Vishnu, Smaranam, Parasevanam.
Vishnoho Smaranam. Archanam, Vandanam, Dasyam, Sakhyam, Atmanivedanam. Here the Dhyanam is taken as the first one according to Vedanta Deshika's Gitartha Sangraha Raksha. So Dhyanam, meditation. That's what I told you earlier. Mantavyaha. He has to be meditated upon. He has to be thought upon. We have to dote upon him. So Dhyanam. Then Archanam, physical action. Dhyanam will be a mental, wise action of wisdom. Then Archanam is physical action, Karma Yoga. And Pranama also with an understanding. And Pranama will show the Bhakti. So Dhyana will not show the Bhakti unless it is continuous. Archanam will be interrupted in the middle. We will not do Archanam 24 hours by physical action, but we may do it also in the heart. Archanam. We can always say Keshavaya Namaha, Narayana Namaha, and so on. All the names that we know, 108, 1008, and so on, 10,008, 1,08,000. So Archanam. Then Pranama. Pranama is physical falling at the feet, on the floor, on the ground. And that will also include Anjali, the folding of the 2 palms in salutation. And so here, so Pranama also is there. So when people cannot bow down completely, doing Sastanga Pranamam. So we have the word Adi, etc. Many more. Dhyanam, Archanam, Pranamaha. Pranamaha is the masculine gender word. Dhyanam and Archanam are the neutral gender words. So Dhyanam, Archanam, Pranamadi, Pranamadihi. Then Atyartha Priyaha. So the Lord will be pleased. The Lord will become happy on us doing this Dhyanam, Archanam and Pranamam. Adihi, etc. Atyartha Priyaha. The Priyaha, the love, the affection. Artha Priyaha, purposeful affection, meaningful affection. Atyartha Priyaha, very deep, meaningful affection. Atyartha, so the total affection. Atyartha is extreme affection. Atyartha Priyaha. So again, the Bhakti Yoga involves these three initial actions and many more actions. Plus, the result, the result will be Lord Siman Narayana will become not only pleased, will show his or shower his affection on us, shower his love on us. Atyartha Priyaha. And then Tat Prapti Phala. Again, Bhakti Yoga. Bhakti Yoga itself is, as we say, just now I think we have already said about Shabda Brahma. Shabda Brahma. The letters, the syllables, the words, the sentences, the paragraph, the book. So all when they praise the Lord, what is called Shabda Brahman, the scriptures, for example, scriptures are endless. Ananta Vai Vedaha. So they are numerous, uncountable. So all the words, all the letters, syllables. When we say letter, Varnaha we say in Sanskrit, that belongs to consonant. Then when we say vowels or Aksharam, Aksharam includes all the letters, both consonants and vowels. But generally, Swaraha, as you know, vowel. Vowel is Swaraha. All the 13 vowels. All the letters, all the syllables, that is combination of letters. Then combination of syllables will be words, and combination of words will be sentences, and combination of sentences will be paragraphs, and paragraphs will be what we call constitute pages. So with this, all of them will are directed towards the Lord. Then dhyanam, archanam, and pranama. When you meditate, you will have basically some mantras to utter. Well, then second is archanam. Again, we will say namavali. All kinds of namavalis. You can coin your own namavali, and then you have now today for all gods we have got Sahasranam. Not only Vishnu Sahasranamam, Lakshmi Sahasranamam, Lalita Sahasranamam is also ancient, and also so many today. Sai Baba Sahasranamam, I think we have Pondicherry Mother Sahasranamam also. We have so many Sahasranamams now. So all the Sahasranamams can be added in Archana, and then Pranama. Pranama is in salutation. While we salute, physically salute, we also have words. Today there was one reference to how we do pranama in the morning as soon as we get up. As soon as we get up, we have to do what is called Abhigamana Prapatti. Abhigamanam is what we call one of the Panchakala Prakriya, the five time action. 5 time actions of a day. So Abhigamanam is actually approaching the Lord with humility and modesty, and requesting Him to accept our puja, aradhanam, and so on. And at the same time, how are we to approach with Abhigamana Prapatti? Abhigamana Prapatti also will include, for your information, Govindacharya Swami, Mokshartha Prapatti. It will also be called Mokshartha Prapatti. Just before Thiruvaradhanam or in the early morning, as soon as you get up. You go to the Sannidhi, Sanctum Sanctorum of the Lord in the at home, and then pray to Him, saying that not only I. Why I? The word I. Dasaha, you can say Adiyan, we say. Naman is a Dasaha. and so on. But the I will be what we call another in Sanskrit term called Adhyahara. Adhyahara, adding to the Zoom meeting. Adhyahara, adding the letter word aham to makara of the pranava syllable. So aham dasaha. The aham becomes the noun and the ma becomes the adjective. So aham dasaha. I am the slave. That is the so you have to add some words. Add some words. Even for example, the first letter a in the pranava syllable will be added with the what we call the suffix of the dative case. Chaturthi vibhakti pratyayaha. So it will become aya and so on. So here you have this atyartha priyaha. So he will love us, and in turn we will also love him. Because we love him, he will love us. And lastly, tat prapti phalaha. Already we said that the Lord is the means to attain him, and Lord is the final goal. So tat prapti phalaha. These two will be what we call the main contents of the bhakti yoga. So bhakti yoga will be practiced by dhyana, archana, pranama, etc. and other actions. And these two will be the aim of the bhakti yoga, namely atyartha priyaha. So Lord will become atyartha priyaha, and the bhakti yoga will become tat prapti phalaha. Though we say karma yoga, the action of the discipline of action, the jnana yoga, the discipline of wisdom, and the bhakti yoga, the discipline of devotion, all the three are though called means, though called upaya, they are minor upayas. The major upaya, the major means, the important means is God himself. And with his sankalpa, with his decision, these three yogas, along with prapatti yoga, namely what we just now saw in the sentence, jiva para yathatmya jnana purvaka. By karma yoga, by jnana yoga, and by bhakti yoga, we submit ourselves to God, and therefore that will also include prapatti yoga. Though we say initially bhakti yoga is so difficult that we will only adopt prapatti yoga, but prapatti yoga will involve all the three. That's what we have been seeing often. So with this, it is open to discussion.
So we have actually some more another paragraph for this sloka. Do you want questions now or later?
Yeah, I would like to have some, if there is a need.
Some feedback. So yesterday I neglected to ask the question. You were saying that bhakti yoga includes jnana yoga and karma yoga, so all three of them together, and that now we're saying that prapatti includes bhakti yoga, karma yoga, and jnana yoga, all four. So it seems like very, very complicated, more complicated to do prapatti than to do just bhakti yoga. Because there are more angas.
So prapatti yoga is the simplest method as all the acharyas, sutras advocate. It need not be a what they call serious content of all the three other yogas. Though sporadically or to the minimum, we will have to have karma yoga, jnana yoga, and bhakti. And one more, Avige Singer called 41st Devanar Valakam Avige Singer did prapatti to the elephant in Varanasi. Then here in Srirangam, 44th Pontiff Mukkur Arigeshingar did prapatti to the dogs and goat. So that means
What do you mean by doing property to the elephant and to the goats?
that is whatever we say as Acharya Nishtha and Ukti Nishtha in the Prapatti. Acharya Nishtha is the preceptor himself takes up the responsibility of praying to the Lord instead of asking the devotee, asking the disciple to say the mantras and then convey those mantras and submit the shishyas and disciples to the God. That will be even without sometimes the request of the disciple. That is Acharya Nishtha. Acharya Nishtha is almost equal to Swanishta also or Bhagavata Nishtha also. So these three are almost similar. But whereas Ukti Nishtha will be, a preceptor will ask the disciple to say the mantras, repeat the mantras, make them understand, make the disciples understand the mantras, and then ask them to pray to God. And of course, through the preceptor only, all through the preceptor. But with regard to the animals, like goats, dogs, and elephants, they do not know. They do not know anything. They can be even just called achetana. Sometimes I think they call it as though they have no life. At least Christianity says there is no life in the goat. That is why it can be killed, they say. But we accept even from the plants there is life. There is life in the plants also, the flora. And therefore, I mean, how do they know? The achetanas, if you include elephants also, goats and dogs also as achetana, because they have, I mean, though we identify some thinking capacity on their part. The dog is grateful. The elephant recognizes you as a master. The goat is grateful to you. The goat is also, the goat comes every day to your house to take some morsel of grass. When you rear it, yeah, when you show affection towards that, he expects you to give food. So these are all some kind of intelligence that the animals have. Especially in elephant also has a negative, rather anger as its intelligence. Once you do harm to the elephant remembers you till its life ends. And if you escape from the elephant for one time, then it catches you in another time. And then as soon as it sees you again, it remembers the harm done by you, and therefore, so this is of course another type of negative intelligence. There are it's only for self-protection, self-security, and no elephant will allow, no female elephant will allow anybody to witness the delivery of the cub, the elephant cub. It is done in a secret chamber in forest. Suti Griham, the delivery room. That will be because it is afraid of enemies attacking the child. Therefore, so they have got the security sense. Security sense. As soon as you pick up a stone, as soon as you act picking up a stone, the dog flies away. You don't do. You take a stick and threaten the monkey goes away. If you don't have a stick, the monkey bounces upon you. Otherwise, so they have some intelligence. But in spite of that small intelligence they have, the Ariya singers were so kind, gracious enough to um, do prapatti for the, that is, they pray for moksha to the animal. They pray for moksha to the animal.
I
And
see.
they'll be very fortunate. They'll be lucky if they are near the preceptors and the preceptors do that.
Right. I had a friend, Mr. Vasudevan in Ranganagar, and
Yeah,
he was keeping some dogs.
the Shambode was there. That's what I'm referring to, right?
Yeah, and I think 45th Alagir Singer
Yeah,
did the barnyasa for the dog because the
dog,
dog
yeah,
was sick and dying. So he
yeah,
asked the Alagir Singer to do the barnyasa for the dog.
right.
So
I saw it with my very eyes.
you saw that the
Yeah,
the barnyasa of the dog.
right.
How does somebody do barnyasa for the dog? Normally you you just pray. You're just going
Yeah,
to pray
right.
for the dog. Okay,
And sprinkle the holy water on the dog.
I see. Okay.
And it was highly suffering in the last moments. Uh, and it was vomiting blood and so on. I know
Okay.
some.
I have another question about that because I met one Russian lady who was from Hyderabad, and she joined a Hobalam Mutt, and the Hobalam Mutt Swamiji did not perform the Pancha Samskara for her, but he only did Baranyasa for her.
Mm.
She said she did Baranyasa at 45th Alagir Singh's feet. So my question is, why the Acharya didn't do Pancha Samskara for her before doing
Uh,
Baranyasa?
that's what we say with regard to Varna and Ashrama. If she is beyond these divisions, if he is beyond these divisions, as you always say that we call the foreigners Mlechas because they some other language speaking people
Panchamas.
and Pancham. What? So rather, I mean, I won't say that, but they are not. I mean, you may mistake me. They are not outcasts, as we say. Pashandaha, otherwise called Jati Braktaha. But since we have limited area of action in the Bharat Desha, the country of India, we have some what we call neglect of other areas, neglect of other, and therefore Pancha Samskara was not done.
I see. So if I understand correctly, the 45th Alagir Singha was not giving for foreigners, was not giving any Pancha Samskara, is it? See,
I think
just recently when I was in Sri Rangam, I asked this Vedavyasa Bhatta also. He said normally we don't give Pancha Samskara for foreigners. Yeah. So some people are giving, some people are not giving for foreigners. I understand that. So how do you define foreigner actually? Because Bharat Desha, the country of India, right? The country of India has been a country since only 1947.
you mean the independent India?
The India, if you say India, everyone thinks of 1947 country. But before that, in Shastra, it speaks about a place between the two oceans and between the Himalayas and the Vindhyas. This is supposed to be the place of the Aryas, the place of the Aryans.
Hindustan.
Yeah, but that also doesn't include Tamil Nadu. So Tamil Nadu is also not strictly speaking in Shastric India, right? It's not in Bharatavarsha. It's outside.
The most important problem is the history written by those people who do not know the subject.
Okay. So
We are reading the history books.
okay, so when we
mixed up.
how do we define how in the Shastra what is a foreigner and what is a Swadeshi? What is an Aryan should live in that place, right, between the Himalayas and the Vindhyas.
The word
According
Aryan
to-
and Dravidian, Aryan is otherwise called Dravidian, both are misnomers. Misnomers. Some people say through the Khyber Pass, many people came from upper countries and
Yeah, but
arrived.
the Aryan invasion theory is debunked, I think, now.
But Aryan, the word Aryan in Sanskrit becomes Aryaha, respectable people. That's all. Educated people, respectable people. So there is not a civilization separately in north of India and then south of India have Dravidian. All the four languages, Kannadam, Sanskrit, Malayalam, Telugu, and Tamil are called Dravidian languages. And they are called Dravidian languages by someone. But they are being classified as Dravidian language. But they are now all Indian languages. You cannot say one is. So Aryan, the word Aryan and Dravidian. So Dravidian normally, as we understand, Tamilians and so on.
Right,
And an arrow.
but actually you can't. I mean, you can call these languages as Indian languages, but like I'm saying, India is only a modern construct since 1947. It's when you say
The word India, then again, I just tell you India, the word India, Bharata Desham, Bharata Deshaha, that will be the right word. And neither Hindu, the word Hindu is the name of the religion. It is only Sanatana Dharma is the name of the religion.
right. I understand that.
So
What
I
I'm
don't know
what I'm
how-
trying to understand is what is the definition of a Swadeshi and a Videshi?
uh,
Because if you say we cannot give Pancha Samskara to a Videshi, that's okay if you have a rule like that. But what is the definition of a Videshi?
I think
Because we have this Swami Vishwananda, right? He was born in Mauritius, and you have to admit that Mauritius is not
Part of
India. It's not part of Bharata Desha. Mauritius is an island in the ocean. It is near Africa. It is closer to Africa, I think, than India. So, but this Vedavyas Bhatta, he said, we gave Pancha Samskara to this Swami Vishwananda because he told us that his ancestors are from Brahmins from Gaya.
Gaya.
Yeah. So if somebody comes to Alagya Singha and says I am born in Milwaukee, but my ancestors are from Sri Rangam, Alagya Singha will give Pancha Samskara to him. No.
So who gave Pancha Samskara to that Swami?
Vedavyasa Bhatta.
Oh.
In Vadaka Uttaravedi.
Oh. You mean the present who is alive now?
The present Swami, yeah. Yeah. The present Vedavyasa Bhatta. So my question is, these people like Alagya Singha, Vedavyasa Bhatta, they have some rule that they won't give Pancha Samskara to Videshis. Right? But I want to understand what is their definition of Videshi. Because if I look in Shastra, anybody who doesn't live between the Himalayas and the Vindhyas is a Videshi.
Right.
According to Dharma Shastras.
We'll have to ask the preceptors and the concerned people who do not give Pancha Samskara, refuse to give Pancha Samskara to certain people. And
right. Because also my other question is, see, I discussed this point with one Mr. Bharat from Velakudi Krishnan's Gurukula.
Yeah.
Velakudi,
Bharat,
yeah. I was discussing with him, and he was saying, no, you have to actually, according to Dharma Shastra, you have to live in that place between the Himalayas and Vindhyas and the two seas. That is Aryavat. That is Aryavarta.
Yeah, Aryavarta.
Yeah, and so some people will say that is only that is the Punya Bhumi, and outside of that is not Punya Bhumi.
That means even Tamil Nadu is not included.
That's right. Tamil Nadu is not included. So so that's I'm trying to understand. If we take if we take the Dharma Shastras as as the standard for judging who is Videshi and who is Swadeshi, very few people are Swadeshis.
You have to take a lot of resources for information.
Right, because to me it seems to be genetic. It seems to be genetic these days. That there may be a person from Singapore, but he's a Tamilian. He's a Tamilian who is brought up in Singapore, is born in Singapore. He will come to India and he will meet Alagya Singha or he'll meet Vedavyasa Bhatta, and he'll say, please give some Pancha Samskara to me. Please give Bharanyasa to me. The Pancha Samskara will be performed for that person, but another person, a person of Chinese ancestry living in Singapore or born in Singapore, he will come and these people will say, no, we cannot give you Pancha Samskara, right? So they're judging people according to genetics.
Yeah, the generation or race.
Yeah, so I'm just trying to understand, because to me, just my opinion is that the Pancha Samskara should be for everybody, regardless. If we say that property, of course, you're saying Bharanyasa is the property. So Bharanyasa can be for everybody, even for the animals, as we were talking about, for the animals, for the elephant, for the goat, for the dog. But Pancha Samskara is not for everybody. Is that correct? According to Deshika Sampradaya, or let's say according to Ahobalam Mattam or Munitraya Sampradaya, Pancha Samskara should be reserved only for Swadeshis. Is it? Is that the idea?
I have no idea, but with regard to the question why 44th Hari Singh was doing for goats and dogs, he answered, because they are coming around me all the time. They are approaching the preceptor. They love the preceptor. And if a Chinese or, as you said, a Russian lady comes and has faith in the preceptor, full faith in the preceptor, then goes on requesting so many times. As Ramanujacharya went to Tirukottur Nambi 17 times, and then 18th time he advised, then definitely no preceptor will refuse to give Pancha Samskara. That's what I feel.
Right.
One is highly devoted.
But as far as you know, I mean, I have a friend from Sweden who is a Sanskrit professor. He took Pancha Samskara from Rangapriya Swami.
Oh.
So Rangapriya Swami is a Deshika Sampradaya, right? He's a Vadagalai Acharya. So in Bangalore.
Mysore.
In Mysore, yeah, Mysore. So he's also part of Munitraya Sampradaya?
He must be part of it. He had a lot of foreign contact, and he could talk in English beautifully, and therefore he had a lot of disciples from foreign countries.
Right.
And therefore because they were disciples, he accepted them into his fold.
Okay. So in Munitraya Sampradaya we have a Ahobalam Mutt and the two Andavan Mutts. But
Parakala Mutt is also.
Parakala Mutt is also part of Munitraya. But Rangapriya Swami is separate from Munitraya?
No, I'm
not sure.
I don't know exactly. But Parakala Mutt is also Vadagalai Sampradaya.
Yeah, Parakala Mutt, yes, I understand.
And Rangapriya too is Vadagalai Sampradaya. I'm not sure about Munitraya Sampradaya. And the word Munitraya Sampradaya itself is a misnomer, because all of us are Munitraya Sampradaya. Either it is Vadagalai or Tengalai.
Right, I understand.
So,
Sure.
so,
I'm just trying.
and
I'm just trying to understand all the nomenclatures, all the different jargon, and who is who.
yeah.
So I just want to also understand if a certain section has some rules against foreigners, and what the definition of foreigners is. And of course, nobody is against foreigners. Everybody's giving Varanyasa to the foreigners, but some people are also giving Pancha Samskar. So that's what I want to understand.
And again, yeah, when we go, say for example, when I go abroad, and then once and return, and then I do Setu Snanam. I take bath in the sea in the near Rameshwaram. It's called Ramanathapuram, Adi Jagannatha. So near the temple. Then I have the expiation of the sin committed by going abroad. The second time when I visit abroad, then I have no redemption. So I have no. So I will not be considered fit for performing fire rituals, nor I think I will deserve either Panchasamskara or Bharanyasa or Samasrena, anything, Prapatti and so on.
So you're saying going abroad twice is going to negate your Varanyasam and Prapati and everything? It's going to negate it.
Right.
Really? Okay. And is there some Shastra Pramana for that?
Brihaspati's are saying, let me know from Brihaspati.
Okay. Is it just Shishtachara, this sort of thing? Or is
It may be Shikshachara, but if the Brihaspati's cannot show any Pramana, then.
Yeah, okay. All right.
And today.
Are you worried about this? Are you worried about this yourself?
No.
You've been many times to foreign, no?
Right. And here my Brihaspati also said the Shraddha ceremony performed for my parents in foreign countries is not valid. Is not valid. So you have to repeat it here also.
Yeah, he's just trying to get more business.
So that is one thing. Sometimes we miss it there unknowingly. Unknowingly in the sense I had a valid reason for missing it, and then I had to perform it after 6 months coming here.
So when you came back the first time, you went to Rameshwaram and did a Setu Snanam.
No, I never followed that ritual of.
I see.
And my Brihaspati said, once he also visited twice. So
he visited twice. He himself visited twice. Okay, so when he visited, did he perform any rituals?
Yeah, he performed Setu.
No, but when he was in foreign, did he perform rituals in foreign?
No, many people are careful that I was talking about the family just now where the wife passed away and the husband is alive.
Right.
So they were very careful in visiting US, avoiding those dates of death anniversary.
I see. So some people, what they do is all of the samskaras and things, they always return to India to perform those, and when they're in foreign, they just earn money or see relatives, and they don't do any rituals at all when they're in foreign.
Ritual in the sense, Shraddha ceremony.
Shraddhas they don't do, but they do. But they still can do pujas, and they still do Sandhya Vandanam and all these things. And what about for marriages and those things also for purva?
Anything Ayush Homa, the Upanayana.
So both purva prayoga and apara prayogas has to be done in India. Yes.
No, all the purva prayogas are done in foreign countries.
The purva prayogas are done, but the apara prayogas should not be done.
Apara prayoga also when one dies there while visiting,
I see.
then you have to be Apara Prayoga also done there.
Well, you have to do the Antyeshti. You have to
Yeah.
do the funeral has to be done there.
Yeah.
But sometimes they'll bring the body back to India and then do the funeral only in India.
Yeah, some people did it.
But my question is not whether some people do it or other people don't do it. My question is there any
What is
pramana
Shastra?
for doing it or not doing it?
What is Shastra saying?
Yeah. What do the Dharma Shastras say?
Yeah,
If we die in a foreign place, is it do we have to do some extra rituals, or is there some prayaschitta that has to be done for somebody dying in a foreign place? And again, what does a foreign place mean? Even Tamil Nadu can be considered a foreign place by some Dharma Shastras.
During the travel.
Huh?
You mean during the travel?
During travels.
During the journey.
Right.
During the times of journey, you mean?
No, I'm saying according to Dharma Shastras, even Tamil Nadu is considered a foreign place.
Foreign place.
Yeah. According to Dharma Shastras, Tamil Nadu is not Aryavarta. It's there. It is a foreign place for Dharma Shastras. Manu doesn't recommend that Brahmins live in Tamil Nadu. He recommends that they live only in Madhya Pradesh and Uttar Pradesh.
Beyond Vidya.
Yeah. Okay. So anyway, I guess this question came up because some of my friends who were doing Upakarma, they wanted to know what they should mention in the Sankalpa. Whether they
that's what I communicated to you.
Yeah. But there's a confusion amongst people. Some people say that USA is Kronsha Dweep.
Yeah.
And some people say that the whole world is Bharatavarsha.
Yeah.
So yeah.
You need not say Meroho Uttare Parshe, Meroho Dakshine Parshe.
Right. Unless you live in Russia, then you may be Meru Uttara Parshve, right?
So no, we have a list of sankalpas for the different countries also.
Is it? Please send me. I would like to see that. Okay, so I mean, those were really the only questions that I had about this particular part, and also I wanted to reiterate the question that I had yesterday about why we have the ladies only do the Panchanga Pranama.
We have to get a proof from the book. Just to have one sentence to remember. I mean, as Govindacharya has started it to say, Gokulashtami, rather we call it Sri Jayanti. Remember Lord Krishna, which liked by everyone without any age difference.
Right. Vasudeva Sutam Devam, Kamsa Chanura Marjanam, Devaki Paramanandam, Vande Krishnam Jagat Gurum.
Krishnam Vande Jagat.
Or Krishnam Vande Jagat Gurum. Correct. Thank you for correcting me.
Kavitarkika Simhaya Kalyana Gunashaline Srimate Venkateshaya Vedanta Gurave Namaha.